Hi guys, how are we all? I just I saw a video recently by JohnOfJordan 19 about what people used to do before the internet. Well, technology in general, but specifically the internet. And it got me thinking about what I used to do when I was much younger. And I am going to post a proper video response to that. I've just been really pressed for time, so it will happen. I know I've been promising certainly Johnny for days now, but I am going to do it. I've scripted it and everything. You know, I'm serious when I'm scripting my video responses, but that's okay. One thing, I'm using props now, so this will be very interesting. One thing that I did remember is, even though the internet for me is a relatively new thing, I've always sort of had some form of computers in the background. And back in the day, when I was a kid, I had a Commodore 64, and I loved this Commodore 64. It was brilliant. I used to play, my two favourite games in the world were Giana Sisters, which you may or may not know was actually taken off the market for being too similar to Mario Brothers, but in my personal opinion it's a much, much better game. And I'm really fortunate that you can actually download Commodore 64 emulator for the old PC and still play those games, so it's awesome. And the other one was Wonder Boy, which was great fun too. But anyway, I went through some old stuff and I found this. Can you see that? That's a floppy disk. 5.25-inch floppy disk. Back when floppy disks were actually floppy. And this particular one is very special indeed because it's I used to do a lot of programming when I was much younger in Commodore 64 Basic. I used to make my own programs, and this particular disc here, I don't know, you probably can't see that very well, but anyway, there we go. Is that artistic or is it just stupid? I can't really decide, but anyway, on this disc there are a lot of my original programs, and this disc came with this little thing here, called a little notebook, the Wallace Langford notebook, reference number 15714, very interesting. And inside, you probably can't see this again, but there's a list of all the programs on here, and there's like probably about 100 things on this particular disc, because the programs I was doing didn't really take up a lot of room. And they used to have these books full of code, and you just type it out. The idea was that while you were typing, you somehow learnt something about programming in the process. So there's a few of those on here. But there's also some original stuff too. And there's a program called John, which I have no idea what it was or what it did. There's another thing called The Party by John and Brian. And there's one called John's Mass, which unsurprisingly is a mass game. Star Rider, Happy Birthday, Letterprint. Now letterprint is quite intense and we'll get to that in a second. My personal favourite, Oinky the Pig. Now I wish there was some way I could show you Oinky the Pig. It featured some very nice little ASCII art in which I fashioned, amongst other things, a pig. It was great. I think there was a quiz in there as well. So anyway, going through this little book, seeing as I can't, I do have the Commodore 64. Maybe I should get it out of storage and show you guys what it's like. But for those who may have been unfamiliar with the system, see, as I mentioned before, there's a little thing called letterprint. Now this, and there's no way in hell you'll be able to see this because it was printed on a dot matrix printer and it's almost completely faded. But basically what this letterprint program would do is it would ask you a heap of information and generate like this really basic form letter. And in this case, it just thanked a person for a birthday present they provided for you. And in the example, I talk about a pencil case. And it's really sad because the last line reads, and I quote, "I am very pleased with it and will use the pencil case every day. Love, John." Must have been one hell of a pencil case, that's all I can say. Anyway, and it's really cute because it says presented by John Lacey Productions, copyright 1993. And I've got the copyright symbol there and everything. It's been the only kid I knew who was into copyright when I was however old I was back then. I'm not even going to do the math. 93. No, I'm not going to do the math, don't worry about it. I'm not that old, seriously. Yeah, so that's that. I thought that was quite fascinating. I'd sort of gone down this whole unexpected trip of nostalgia. It's been great fun. Anyway, I should probably wrap this up. I've got other videos to watch from other people. Yeah, so as I said, that video response will follow shortly. I have Thursday off, so with any luck, that'll be the day. That'll be the day that I record that video response. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is John of Jordan signing off.